Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, sampler review series videos I've been doing for a little while now. I go over there, try out food and drink items. I drink stuff, then, folks, I'm gonna talk about stuff. I'm gonna let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not gonna lie. I just got back from the wasteland, and boy, are my extra tentacles tired. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's a super simple format. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm going to yammer on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck. Whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I'm wearing a super cool shirt. And folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I always like to highlight the super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing for you today, folks? Well, it happens to be my Boom, the Waterfall King shirt. Which, if you know who the Waterfall King is, I'd be a little bit impressed. But no, actually, they're a really awesome local band that I've been associated with for a few years. The lead singer / guitarist I've known for quite a while now. Back when he was in his previous band, Phantoms and Pestilence. But now he's in this band, the Waterfall King, kind of doom, sludgy, stoner metal. Very cool sound. Love these guys. It's actually been over 2 years, I think, since the last time I've seen him perform live, and I'm going to be going out to see him later today, so super excited about that. If you happen to be interested, I'd be more than happy to go over there and point you in their direction. I also have some videos of performances of theirs that I've gone to over the years. Those are on my channel as well, just in case you might maybe want to check it out. But anyway, why the fuck? So yeah, clearly, the whole thing. So, before I go out to the concert today, I'm actually at a Steampunk Expo that happens to be held in Schaumburg, Illinois. I had no idea it was a thing. And I'm not like the biggest steampunk guy, but like I like the aesthetic. I think it's a very cool, kind of universe that they've created over the years. And when I saw that it was a thing, and then on top of that, there was an artist called Valentine Wolf. They're going to be performing there, and I was like, oh man. So I just went all in for it. And if you go to a Steampunk Expo and you don't walk out with a pair of goggles, what are you even doing with your life? So I got myself some goggles. And by the way, just a few little caveat things here. It is hot, so I have my fan on. It's on fairly low. I'm hoping it doesn't pick up too bad on the on my phone. If it does, I apologize. I don't think it should, but I also want to mention my bracelets. A friend of mine named China McCoy, he makes these. My whole aesthetic is super weird, but these bracelets are super awesome. If you happen to be interested in them, I can go over there and send you a link to the website where you can get in contact with them. I also got my Society 1 ring on. Awesome band out of California. But anyway, what am I reviewing for you? I've got all the stuff. Oh, and the goggles that I got, they are from... Oh, okay, here we go. Harlan's Emporium. Looks like that. These were the folks that I bought the goggles from. Apparently they glow in the dark. Super cool. So check them out. But I also picked up something else while I happened to be walking around. And boy, oh boy, it's starting to get squishy. So boom! What is it? It is from sweetsteam.com. It is Roustabout Root Beer Float Milk Chocolate. That sounds amazing. And folks, if you watch my channel, you know I love root beer. This is going to end up on my root beer playlist. It's just my root beer review stuff. And again, it's warm, so we're going to get to it. Maybe the other one will be a little bit less gooey. I don't know. It's in a bag. I bought two because why wouldn't I? So, okay, yeah, I think this one's going to be a little bit better. Let's get a thing for the thing. Maybe. Something like that, maybe. Yeah. Let's give it a go. I look like I'm going to like a late 90s rave. And I'm just very confused. How do I open you? Open? Oh, open. Open. Yeah. One of the reasons why I wanted to get to this, because yeah, it is really warm, so let's try out a root beer float chocolate. It's nice, got some crispy bits in it. Chocolate's really nice. Chocolate is really nice. Very smooth, very creamy. I do like the crunchy bits. I'm wondering, I don't think that those are, because I know you got another one that had Pop Rocks in it, but that's definitely not that. That's like a granulated sugar thing. I get like the root beer float thing. I will say, okay. Now for me, I'm a root beer whore. I could have done with a little bit stronger root beer flavor. But I also have to take into account, again, they're going for a root beer float flavor. Now me, I like a stronger root beer. I like one that's very earthy. You know, it's got those almost borderline medicinal kind of taste to it. But root beer float, obviously, much smoother, much more chill. But you can taste it throughout. I like it. I like it a lot. That's really good. Little granulated sugar things. Adding a little nice little burst of texture here and there. That is some really good chocolate. Like, I mean, I came into it, you know, excited because the root beer float aspect and everything. And I do enjoy that aspect of it. But I have to say, the chocolate quality is definitely what has impressed me the most. Like, that is some nice, rich, very creamy, very smooth chocolate. Like, it doesn't, you know, there's no real, like, bitterness to it or anything like that. And mind you, I do like a dark chocolate. But I mean, there's a lot to be said. And I think in this instance, because they're trying to convey that root beer float flavor, I think this makes perfect sense. That's really good. That's some shit I can get behind, man. I mean, yeah, it's just got like this very subtle kind of root beer float flavor to it. You do have to kind of go with it a little bit, because again, the root beer flavor is a little bit very mild, but that is really good, man. That's some very tasty stuff. And two questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? I'm going to go with yes and yes. I think for me personally, again, my only point of contention is I would have liked more root beer. You know, but that's me. Again, I'm a root beer whore. So there is rarely an instance where I don't want more root beer. I want more root beer when there's no root beer. I want more root beer when there's all the root beer. That's just how that goes. But I do really like what they're doing with it. Again, it's got that nice, super creamy chocolate. Like, again, I cannot stop talking about the chocolate because it's really good. And just kind of that undercurrent of, you know, just that sort of mild root beer float flavor. It's really tasty, man. I think even if you're expecting a stronger root beer flavor, I think just the quality of the chocolate will fully see you through. It's a really good chocolate bar. And if I'm recommending it to somebody, really, you know, again, the only possible point of contention I could see for some people would just be, yeah, you know, if you're expecting a stronger root beer float flavor, you know, again, it's a little bit more mild, but that in some ways kind of makes it easier to recommend to kind of a wider audience because it is very smooth, it's very rich, it's a very decadent chocolate bar. And despite it just being, you know, it's a chocolate bar, there's, you know, little crunchy bits and stuff, but it could be somewhat boring, but because, again, just the quality of the chocolate's so good, and like the little things that they did to kind of, you know, just bolster it a little bit, give it just a little emphasis, I think that's really tasty. And I think that's really good, man. I'm perfectly down with that. 5 things, though. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your folks. Go and have yourselves a truly root beer-tastic rest of your life, because it's always root beer-tastic. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity in your world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do can't do all the time. I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important that we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back. Try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives. Hopefully, do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Hey, folks, do you have any convention experience? Myself, I've hit up a fair amount of conventions in my day. I'm not by any means a pro or anything, but, I like to hit up an occasional comic convention. I've hit up some anime conventions. This is my first steampunk convention. Like I said, I never knew that this was a thing up until recently. But if you do, what have your experiences been? Have you enjoyed it? Did you hate it? Are there shows you want to go to that you haven't gone to? If you want, I can even go over there and try to chat about, maybe some little tips and tricks that I've learned over the years. But again, there's definitely people with way better experience than me. But I'd love to chat about it. So anyway,